Well, it's our podcast, and what a podcast it was.
We put something very interesting to the pub test. This is something that I've been talking about on Double A Chattery, the podcast I do with Anita McGregor. Lying on your CV, is it okay? Is it all right to exaggerate yourself? Is it all right to lie about yourself, to lie about the jobs you've had in the past and what those roles were? At what point does it become untenable, and is it wrong? Speaking about lying, we've got an expert, a human lie detector, if you will, Steve Van Apperen, joining us on the show. Yeah, he's been a detective and he's worked in many, many murder cases. He's called in to look at people to see if he thinks they're fibbing. We've got some questions that we'd like to ask you, Brendan, so get ready.
Well, why does it come down to me?
Why does it come down to me?
Why does it come down to me?
Me.
Smart versus dart, again, picking the footy tips.
Yeah.
I kind of miss the days when we got unreliable footballers, ex-footballers to come in on the show, which was dreadful. I used to think, I can't think of anything worse than trying to round up ex-footballers, and then there is getting darts thrown at me by you, the worst dart thrower in the world. I'm still winning the comp between me and professionals. Just goes to show. And we talk about Labubus. Labubu is the latest cult. It's small furry toys. Jenna, our digital guru, has a collection of Labubus. What are they? What are they worth? Why are people going crazy? We'll find out. She's gone to Lulu for Labubus. Enjoy the podcast.
Right now, by the miracle of recording, we had so many requests for them to do it again.
Mistress Amanda.
Miss Keller. Amanda.
Doesn't work alone.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Her friend is in a back room making the tools of the trade.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
Sorry, I've been drinking beer.
The legendary pirate Jonesy and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles. Congratulations, Mandy. We're on the radio right now.
What is it, you nutface?
Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
You have no empathy for anyone but yourself, you giant tool.
Now's the time to hear good radio.
Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there.
But you're an idiot.
Jonesy and Amanda are here.
It's showtime, a-holes. We're on the air.
Top of the morning to you, Amanda.
Hello, how are you?
I am doing all right. I'm very well. How are you today?
I'm okay. I'm sort of battling a minor cold, I think.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you too. I think a lot of people have got it at the moment. Slightly sore throat, itchy nose, runny bits everywhere. Guess what today is?
You don't want runny bits everywhere.
You do not. Today is the 22nd of May.
I know what happened on this day.
It's Liam's birthday.
Liam's birthday.
Liam is 24. So Jack turned 22 on Sunday, and today Liam turns 24.
We certainly know what you were up to around 9 months before these.
Yeah, I was having IVF.
You know, you've got to sex it up.
I know, but you don't sex it up, because it was such a grateful thing to finally, to say the words I never thought I'd say, is that I've had a baby. It was such a big, big deal. And the only reason I bring it up, well, apart from, it's a big part of our family, is that people always will say to me, I remember what I was doing. They don't always say, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
People say,
time and place.
I remember what I was doing when Liam was born, because it's a marker of their lives too, that's 24 years from that day.
I remember I was in the studio. We rang you. I was with Andrew Denton and Mick Malloy. Mick Malloy was filling in for you, and I was on the show afterwards, and we all gathered in the studio to talk to you about you having your little baby boy, who was called Norbert up until that point.
It's funny about his name, because we really didn't know what we were going to call him. And then 2 weeks before, I went in for a checkup, and they said to me, I think you're fully dilated. And I thought, I'm a goddess. I've gone through labour and I didn't feel a thing.
This baby's going to fall out of me.
And I thought I'd better think of a name. I was looking at a magazine, had a picture of Liam Neeson in it. I thought, well, Liam's quite a nice name. And so I went home. 2 weeks later, when I was in actual labour, and 18 hours later when I dilated 2 centimetres, I realised how foolish I'd been, thinking I'd been fully dilated. And when Liam was born, and the nurse said, well, what's his name? I said, I don't know, maybe we're thinking of Liam. I really didn't know. And she went out the back and did a nice calligraphy thing with Liam and put it on the crib. And I thought, well, that has to be his name now.
Once it's in calligraphy, you can't go back.
Once someone's written it out in texter, that's their name.
Well, happy birthday, Liam.
Happy birthday, Liam.
Can't believe he's 24.
Yeah, he's going to be a trained physiotherapist at the end of the year. He's doing a master's in physiotherapy. And works with Brownwick Rugby as a physiotherapy student there, and all sorts of stuff.
Would it be uncool for me, because I sprained my ankle a couple of weeks ago, I rolled it, would it be uncool if I just, when I saw Liam, just said, hey, mate, ankle's a bit
No,
tight.
not at all. Not at all.
You might want to practice.
Why put bandages over your face, I don't know. Use him. That's what he's
Well,
there for.
Happy birthday, Liam. Action-packed show today. Gemma Rye's not here. He's having a day already.
Well, Jim Rye's not here, but you know who is coming in, and that's Steve Van Apperen, the human lie detector.
Yep.
We've asked you to submit questions you'd like to ask of Jonesy while the human lie detector zones in on him. We've got some interesting ones coming up.
Okay. Well, do I have to wear some sort of hat, like a colander or something?
I don't know. The tin hat? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think he just looks at your face. I think.
Instagram makes its return as well. And we can't do anything till we do the Magnificent
Here's
Seven.
question number 1. Which Disney princess loses her shoe at a ball?
Jam Nation. We have for you the Magnificent Seven. There are 7 questions. Can you go all the way and answer all 7 questions correctly? If you do that, Amanda will say...
We're in for a couple of more days of rain. Can you believe it? Did you see that footage yesterday?
In Taree, my mate
my-
Paul Stanley's house got flooded again.
Oh, did you see the footage of people being saved from their roofs, people losing their cattle, trying to rescue their pets? It's just absolutely heartbreaking.
And did you see that other story down south, heading towards Mudgee? We're in drought.
Yeah. Welcome to Australia.
Someone should write a poem about this joint. It'd be good. Melanie's joined us. Hello, Melanie.
Hey, how are you?
We're very well, Melanie. Here's question number 1 of the Magnificent Seven. Which Disney princess loses her shoe at a ball?
Cinderella?
Cinderella, that's the one.
Which empire was ruled by Julius Caesar, Augustus, and Nero?
The Roman Empire?
Oh,
Yeah.
so now we've set all the men off. They've just stopped thinking about it.
There's a certain demographic, I'd say between 28 and 38.
When they get out of their ice baths, they'll be thinking about that.
The ice bath. Do you see, Dr. Carl said they're a con, the ice baths.
Duh.
Everyone's
But
wasting their time.
I know, but if it makes you feel better, if it's a mental health placebo, go for it. Let's play Lyrical Assassin. Now, how does this go again, Brendan?
This is where we quote the lyrics from a song.
Okay, we just
in
say
a
them. We just say
conversational
them.
fashion, and Melanie has to work out where they're from.
Okay, you do it.
Okay. Melanie, don't let go. You got the music in you. One dance left. This world is going to pull through.
You got the music in you.
Don't
What's the song?
What's the song? You've got a reason to live.
You got the music in you. Oh, my God. I know it.
We need the name, Melanie. I'm sorry. Warren's in Castle Hill. Hi, Warren.
Hi, Amanda.
Let me have a go.
You have a crack.
Don't let go. You've got the music in you. One dance left. This world is going to pull through. Don't give up. You've got a reason to live.
Oh, you
What's
sing.
the song?
You kind of sing.
No, you got me there.
I could sing the entire song and people wouldn't know.
It's a great song.
Well, that's question number 3, Lyrical Assassin.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
We're into the Magnificent Seven.
We're up to question number 3. We're playing Lyrical Assassin. Hello, Barbara in DY.
Hi, Amanda. How you going?
I'm very well. Have a listen to these lyrics. Don't let go. You've got the music in you. One dance left. This world is going to pull through. Don't give up. You've got a reason to live. Do you know what the song is?
Yeah, you get what you give by the New Radical.
That's it.
Etc. Question number 4 for you. What country has the most pyramids in the world? This is a multiple choice, Barbara. Is it A, Egypt, B, the Sudan, C, Mexico? This could be a little bit of a tricky one, by the way.
Sudan.
Wow.
It is Sudan.
You got Amanda mid-sip of Lems?
It has over 220.
Yeah, I had my Lemsip yesterday. I know how you feel.
It's good stuff, isn't it?
Did the Lemsip help you, Barbara?
Yeah.
Okay,
it
good.
did.
Remember during the pandemic, you couldn't get Lemsip for Love Nor Money.
Because everyone...
And then Elton John was coming out here. I was suggesting that maybe he could bring some Lemsips over, you know.
A lot of other things either.
Yeah, well, that's very true.
We won't go there.
Well, no, I'm happy to go there, Barbara, anytime.
Question 5. True or false? Kryptonite is the hardest natural substance on Earth. Is that true or false, Barbara?
Ooh. Well, let's say it's kryptonite, the hardest surface. Yeah, I'll say true.
No, sorry, Barbara, it's not true. Nick's in Canleyvale. Hello, Nick.
There's a good reason for that.
G'day, guys.
Nick.
Kryptonite's the hardest natural substance on Earth. Is that true or false?
Oh, it must be false.
And do you know why it's false?
I think the diamonds are...
No, it's
hard.
well, yes, it's false because kryptonite doesn't exist. It's fictitious.
Yeah.
It's a material that's used in the DC comics. It's Superman's nemesis. So it's not real.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you need some Lemsip, Nick? Question 6 for you.
Yeah.
Great Expectations and Oliver Twist are books by which author, Nick?
That Irish guy.
Yeah, go on.
It's not Leanne Moriarty. Great Expectations, Oliver Twist. Who wrote those?
Classic.
Sorry, Nick.
Dom is in Winston Hills.
Do you know who wrote Great Expectations and Oliver Twist, Dom?
I do. It was Charles Dickens.
Yes,
Dickens.
it was.
Who is playing against the Bulldogs tonight at Accor Stadium?
Oh, the Dolphins.
You've done it,
You know
Nick.
it all,
You've
my
done it,
man.
Nick. Oh, Dom, sorry, you've done it.
Dom. Nick wishes he was Dom
Thank you.
today. Congratulations, my man. You've won the Jam Pack. It's all coming your way. A Sheraton Grand Sydney Hyde Park famous Sunday seafood buffet, including a beverage package for two.
You will love it.
$150 to spend at Flowers for Everyone. Shop Sydney's freshest flowers and gifts for flowersforeveryone.com.au. And Jonesy and Amanda Coach to choose for you to colour in and some stated pencils. I say Dom, if that's your real name. You got anything to add to this?
Other than that's a great prize. Thank you very much, Jonesy and Amanda.
It's a nice prize, if I could adapt a bit of Glen Ridge there.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
We're mass communicating.
The legendary pirate Jonesy
What a creep.
and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles.
I'm going to build a golden dome above the station.
Do it. What will it protect us from?
I don't know.
From our thoughts leaking out?
If you want these thoughts, you can have them. I'm thumbing through the Jalmanac, our big book of musical facts. Wellity, well. On this day in 2001, Amanda Keller gave birth to a bouncing baby boy.
Oh, yes.
Weighing in at 5 pounds. You remember it?
I think I was there.
Weighing in at 5 pounds and 2 ounces.
He was a small little thing.
Liam Rhodes came into the world.
Yeah.
I remember we were working over at Triple M at the time, and I knew your journey with IVF, and you told me that you were pregnant with Liam, and because you knew I was good with the secret.
Yeah, and you were so good with the secret. The next day you said, "Where were you yesterday?" I'd been to have some tests. You said, "Where were you? Sick in the guts." You'd forgotten. It's enormous news that after years of IVF, something had finally stuck. Not in your head, though.
But I remember when you gave birth to Liam, and I was so happy, and everyone was so happy for you. And we're in the studio, and Andrew Denton rang you to see how you were going. Do you remember this?
We all feel the same. We feel the same.
I've had a baby.
Well done.
It wasn't air after all. It wasn't gas or too much Christmas pudding. It was a baby.
We knew you had it in you.
You had it in you. Now look at him, 24. He's got a
24,
moustache.
He's tall. He's such a great person. The thing is, I'm very conflicted. Jack's birthday was on Sunday.
Yep.
And so, we didn't make a big gush of it. And here I'm going, oh, it's in the Jalmanac, Liam's birthday.
Well, and you were upset. Well, you agonised over the fact that you didn't post anything for Jack's birthday.
I didn't. I saw him all day, and so I didn't.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. So yes,
I think that's okay.
it is conflicting. But the 24 years, and the radio station gave out little onesies to people who had babies on the same day, and people come up to me all the time and say, "I've still got my onesie." It was a trigger for a lot of people to remember what they were doing on that day too. So it's 24 years ago.
And if I play this song,
oh, you're going to make me cry.
You are so going to go the blub.
I'm so going to go the blub.
Happy birthday, mate.
Oh, stop it.
It's too late.
Too late.
Once you start Creed, you can't stop it.
Jam Nation.
Gold 101.7. Hello there, it's Jonesy and Amanda. You've held that together quite well. Creed with arms wide open.
You know what? I'm trying to hold it together because there's a lot going on in my life. And if I start bawling, I'll lose it. So, that song, it's mean to play.
Well, I put it on. I thought it'd be a nice dedication.
It is a lovely dedication.
I'll tell you a backstory. You used to hate that song.
Well,
when we were over the
I didn't
Triple M,
hate it, but I just,
Creed and Nickelback and all those bands,
that stuff.
you hated it.
And then the morning Liam was born, a listener dedicated it.
Yeah.
And I just heard the lyrics.
The lyrics are beautiful.
It's beautiful. I've seen it so differently ever since. I've got a big lump in my throat.
That's okay. But also, you don't have to worry about posting a tribute on your social media.
Well, I didn't do it for Jack on Sunday, so I'm conflicted. I have to ignore Liam all day.
You've gone and played a song for him. Jack's going, where's my song? I want a song.
You know the song Triple M played for Jack when he was born? Is when I was working with Mikey Robbins and Peter Burner.
Yep.
She's Got the Jack.
That'll make you cry for other reasons.
Yes.
It's 20 to 7. Being a parent is fraught, and I was just thinking about Yelena Dokic. Demir has passed away.
Yeah.
And at the age of 67, and they weren't on speaking terms. He left the country, went away. I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but,
But how
He's
conflicting
not
it
getting
is.
Father of the Year awards.
No, he's not. And she's written about her struggle with the emotional and physical abuse she copped at his side. And as she said here, it's never easy losing a parent and a father, even if you're estranged from them. The loss of an estranged parent comes with a difficult and complicated grief. So whether you see them as your traditional appropriate guardian or not, there's a lot of mixed emotions she'll be feeling right now, as she says.
And we spoke to her only just last year with her book, and I asked, did she actually receive an apology from Demir? Have you ever had an apology from your father?
No, I haven't. I haven't. I've tried to reconcile with him at one stage years and years ago, but it's not possible. I think ultimately, no matter what you go through, I think with your family or your parents, you kind of feel like maybe you can get to a stage where things can change and you can have a relationship. But no, I don't. I think when someone isn't even able to say sorry, or when they actually think that they did everything right, and in fact, in his words, he would do it all over again, that's where you draw the line, especially as you get older. You need to get that toxicity out of your lives.
She's a very impressive woman, Yelena Docky.
Absolutely. And she's been so vulnerable and so open in talking about her relationship with him. And the post she did yesterday about him passing was no different.
Yeah, it was very, from her perspective, it's about letting go. When you're a parent, you don't have all the answers, do you?
Well, we assume that parents have their children's best interests at heart, don't we?
You do.
And it's horrific to hear that's not always the case.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Let's get on down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test. And today, lying on your resume, does it pass the pub test? Our number, by the way, 135522, if you'd like to join in.
Yeah.
And this is because of a chat that you had in your podcast, Double A Chattery, which drops today.
That's right. Anita McGregor and I do a podcast, and it's an interesting thing. Anita works at a university. She runs a department of forensic psychology and often has to mark work and employ people and evaluate students. Is it okay to lie? That's what we're wondering. Do you lie on your CV? Apparently 70% of workers confess that they've lied on their resumes. Now, that may be a slight exaggeration as to how many people were in the team that you managed or how long you worked somewhere.
Yep.
Or it could be a big lie as to what your qualifications are. There's a very grey area between bigging yourself up and actually lying. And if you get the job and prove yourself, it doesn't matter.
I think you can embellish a little bit. Like, you're not going to say that you're stealing from the company. And Anita made a good point about Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, he was the guy that was in that Twilight. He said that he went to Oxford to get the role of Cedric Diggory in the Harry Potter films, and obviously hadn't done that. So I mean, it's kind of like, is it ballsy or is it just?
See, as an actor, it's probably not as bad. But if you said you went to Oxford and you're an English teacher, that has bigger implications.
Yes. Yeah, especially if you're trying to go and mark your students' essays. And that wasn't very good.
There is that if you're a doctor or a lawyer or
an
pilot.
engineer maybe. But, this is the stuff of folklore. Oh, the guy from Twilight, he faked, he said he went to Oxford and look how successful he is. Isn't that funny? But there's a flip side to that. And some people have gone to jail years after for lying about their results early on. And when they end up being CEOs, they go, hang on a minute, you've lied back here and you're responsible back here.
I remember you told me that you had a degree in Nickelback, which you don't have.
Well, my degree was actually in Leo Sayer. Lying on your CV, does it pass the pub test?
Jam Nation.
We're not gonna take it. I want you to get up right now. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell. I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test. Today, lying on your CV, does that pass the pub test? This was brought to light in your podcast, Double A Chattery, which drops today. Your friend, Anita McGregor, who is a clinical psychologist.
She's a forensic psychologist.
Forensic psychologist. So she went to university, she did the training. She didn't just make that up.
No, but 70% of workers confess that they've lied on their resumes. There's a fine line between overselling yourself. Is that just playing the game? Or does it creep into lying?
Mm-hmm.
And does it matter if you can do the job at the end of the day? But you're competing against other people who have proper qualifications. Is it fair? How do you feel lying on your resume or your CV? Does it pass the pub test?
No, it doesn't pass the pub test. If you lie on your CV, you go for a job and you go, oh, yeah, great, I've got the job. How much of a fool do you look? You turn up to that job and you can't do it. So it's egg on your face. So lying on the CV, it's a no-go.
To an extent, I don't think you should lie what you can do, but you should be able to embellish what you actually can do and hopefully you prove yourself.
Absolutely not. No way. Well, if you lie on your CV and you get into your job and you can't do your job, then you're going to look like a fool.
Everybody does it, you know. I wouldn't say lie, but, you know, pump yourself up a bit. Just, you know, a little bit of confidence doesn't hurt. Everybody does it. I don't think it's a problem.
No, because it'll come back to bite you later on.
It's true. You said you had a degree in cold chisel.
Yeah, I do. I do have that degree in cold chisel.
Do you? Can I see it?
And I've got a master's in Barry Manilow. I was the only one doing the course. It might surprise you to hear.
And it was done by Barry Manilow himself.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
I do apologise. I lied earlier before because I was thinking that maybe the rains would go away a little bit. You know, that's what I was thinking.
Well, you lied because you didn't even check the weather. It's going to rain again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Our next guest is a human lie detector. His name is Steve Van Apperen. He's a world-renowned specialist in human behaviour, in deception detection and analysing a person's body language, which allows him to read people like a book, and he's often used to help in homicide cases. Let's assume Jonesy hasn't murdered anybody. But Steve, hello and welcome.
Thank you, Amanda. This is exactly why I have no friends.
Well, how socially does it go? Are you treated by your friends like psychics are? You think you read too much into me, therefore we can't socialise?
Well, my golfing partners know better to lie to me about their scores, that's for sure. But look, when I was a detective for 14 years, and back in those days, what really amazed me is that some of the detectives were not very good at reading body language and detecting deception. So I was always interested in psychological profiling. So I went over to the FBI. But the more time I spent with their behavioural analysis unit, the more interested I became in cognitive and behavioural interviewing. I wanted to know why some people made really good liars and others were absolutely terrible.
And what is the difference? It's just some people are better at it?
Well, yeah. Look, the more complex the lie, it takes a lot of cognitive processing. So if you're fabricating, creating a false memory or embellishing, for every one lie you tell, you have to invent 2 or 3 to protect yourself from the first one. And I don't care how well prepared you are, you can't possibly pre-anticipate every likely question that I could ask you.
What do you mean? What's an example of that?
Well, let's say I'm interviewing you for like a homicide and the pathologist established time of death at 7 p.m. last night and you were seen in the locality. I'd ask you what you did from, say, 4 to 10, and you might say, I went out. And these were all the questions. The questions are the tools of my trade. But more importantly, it's not necessarily the questions, it's how you react to the questions. So typically, give you a real quick example, I was training profilers in Dubai for Emirates, and these guys are really switched on. And
they use weapons.
They do. It's amazing what you can get using weapons. But anyway, they wanted me to put some questions together to work out whether or not people may have been potential terrorists. So one of the questions I put together for them is, do you have any terrorist associations? And they all looked at me and they said, why on earth would a terrorist admit to that? I said, it's got nothing to do with the question, but everything to do with their reaction. Truthful people take ownership, whereas deceptive people create distance, disassociation and separation in language. So many cases, I've worked on 89 homicide cases, and sometimes what I look for is whether or not the person is taking ownership or creating distance. Bill Clinton, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Often, some police departments will get me to look at a plea, a media plea for the return of their loved one. Yep. And there's a case here, Kaisha Abrams, I don't know if you remember that one, young girl. And the mother went there with her de facto boyfriend. And as soon as I saw it, I knew that they were involved because he turned around and he said, she was such a wonderful child. When he said was, that's past tense. Trust me, if you've ever spoken to a parent who's had their child abducted, they will never, ever talk in past tense. Why? Because their expectation is their child will be returned alive, safe and well. So it's almost like they had given up. So getting back to the homicides, I'd ask you, where did you go? I went out. Where did you go? Restaurant. What was the name of the restaurant? Have you been there before? What time did you leave? What was your route? you took to get there? What time did you arrive? What was on the menu? Have you been there before? That's a very interesting question, because if they have and they were involved in the murder at another place, they can draw from memory that they've been there before. So then we have to take them beyond that. So you may be able to think of a lie, but do you sound believable and credible? And sooner or later, your story will fall apart at some stage.
I'm exhausted just listening to that. I want to confess to something I haven't done.
These are all the questions that Amanda asks about me on a Monday.
Yeah.
What did you do? What did you get up to? I said, what are you, a cop? How many questions are you going to ask?
Well, we have some questions here, Brendan, that our audience has asked that I ask you, and Steve will observe you.
Right.
And let us know whether he thinks you're telling the truth or not.
Okay, well, I'll put my truthful face on. We'll take a break and we'll come.
You should be very worried.
Should I be worried? So I don't know what the questions are.
Do you know what a death-cap mushroom looks like?
Oh.
Jam Nation. Jonesy and Amanda in the morning on Gold 101.7.
Well, this is good. We're joined in the studio by Steve Van Apperen. Poker Face is out on Stan, which I'm looking forward to seeing. That's such a great show. But Steve has come along here today and give us the ins and outs of detecting. He's a human lie detector.
He is, and he's worked with police departments and homicide teams and all kinds of things for a number of years. We're going to put his skill set to looking at you, Brendan, as I ask you some questions.
Why does it have to be me so much?
Because you put your hand up and said you'd do it when you were tired after a meeting one day.
I don't think I was paying attention.
I know. So, Steve, I think that Jonesy has... I don't think he can play poker because I think he has such a gurning face that he rubs his eyes, he mimics and... Right. I think I can tell when he's lying.
I often find that people, that's a tell when someone, how you going? And they go, oh, I'm great. And they touch their face. You're not great.
Is that really
is that a tell?
One?
Well, it is. We look for conflict or contradiction between what a person's saying and what their body language is stating. So there are more neural connections between the hand and the face than any other part of the body. So usually it's what we call a masking, concealment or blocking behaviour. So psychologically, our hand goes up to our mouth to block those false words.
Really?
Because we feel uncomfortable about it. But at the last moment, there'll be a deflection, like a nose touch, eye rub or something. If you've got a decent itch, you give it a scratch as opposed to just a cursory touch. So also behavioural psychologists believe it's a way of offsetting the anxiety of being associated with knowing that they're telling a lie.
Because I saw the boss the other day and I said, how's the show going? He said, oh, it's so good. You guys are on fire.
Rubbed his face.
You're here forever.
Yeah, but the FBI teach their agents to baseline or benchmark, then look for deviations from that. So if you've got somebody who always does that and then you ask a question, they do it again, that tells me nothing. What we look for, does the question become the threatening stimulus which engages a change in behaviour and they're evasive, omissive, dismissive, sidestep the issue, don't answer the question. I'm sure you both have interviewed politicians and they'll ask you a question and they'll just deflect.
Yeah.
Good journalists go back and ask the same question again because there's usually a pretty good reason when those red flags are there, and that is because they feel uncomfortable with the question.
Can I just ask you this before we start? Are women better at detecting lies than men?
Not only are they better at detecting lies, they're better at reading body language because you have more evaluation centres in your brain. So there was a study and they found that women make better lies because there's less response latency, ums and ahs, and they can include more content, information, structure and detail. So sometimes I get people on stage and I'll say, look, tell me a lie or whatever. And what will happen is often women will not only create a false memory that never existed, they'll also create a false conversation with someone that never existed. So it's like lying twice within the one lie. Whereas men's lies are very basic, like, I'm running late or, no, your bum doesn't look big enough.
Well, that's question one gone.
Well, okay, Steve, so what do I do? Do I just act casual?
I'm going to ask the question.
You're going to ask the question.
Now, bear in mind, I can only see the top of your head over this console.
Right, okay. Do you want me to drop the desk?
No, that's all right. No, all good. All good.
Drop it down a little bit.
No, it's okay.
I just like playing with the desk.
All right, Brendan, here's question number one.
Okay, here we go. Do I look at Amanda or you?
I'll just look at Amanda.
He's looking awkward already.
Okay,
Brendan, here's question one. This is from a listener. When you say people have Adelaide legs, what do you really mean?
They're athletic legs.
Yeah. Okay, I have a problem with that. When somebody has doubt or they're not serious about something or they may not actually believe what they're saying, there'll be a number of things that happen. The shoulder shrug, the eyes and hands usually up towards which is indicative of doubt or uncertainty. So I'm not too sure on that one.
So you're saying a lie?
I think when you say athletic, you don't. When you say Adelaide, you don't mean athletic.
I mean athletic.
Okay.
It depends on what your definition of athletic is.
Come on, where's that buzzer coming from?
All right, here's another one. Brendan, do you think that I'm a good driver?
No.
Yeah, look, what I saw then was his body language matched what he was saying. So he shook his head in the negative while saying no. So, yeah, I believe him.
Oh, that's horrendous. Do you think you're superior to the women who work here?
No, of course not.
Yeah, I actually believe that.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you believe that he does or doesn't?
No, I believe he's telling the truth.
Okay.
And the reason why was sometimes I look for tonal inflections and changes, and that was very direct. Usually truthful people will answer the question very clearly, very succinctly, and very directly, whereas deceptive people will often use an objection. Why would I do something like that? I'm not that sort of person, but he answered the question very directly.
Here's another one. Would you be a better host of Sunrise than Matt Shervington?
Of course I would.
Now, this is interesting, right? Because this is an opinion question. So a lie, by definition, is where somebody willfully misleads somebody knowing that what they're saying is factually incorrect. But you're asking him a question that calls for his subjective opinion. So can your opinion be wrong or right is the question. So, yeah, look, he probably believes that's the case. Does it make it a lie? Not necessarily.
Shervo will be quaking in his boots this morning.
All right, here's one a lot of people have asked me to ask you.
Okay.
Have you had a crush on me for 20 years?
Of course I have.
He's rubbing his face. He's rubbing his face.
Well, see, what was interesting about that, it's quite an animated response. And there was hand-to-face masking, concealment, blocking behaviours. And there was what I call the anthill. I remember watching Shane Warne being interviewed once, and the questions become a little bit uncomfortable, and there's a slight shift in their chair and a slight swivel in their chair. So usually if a question makes someone feel uncomfortable, there will be some sign. In your case, it was hand-to-face moving and so on.
Right.
Yes, he's uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
And also what we know through science is when a person lies, their blink rate increases 6 to 8-fold after the delivery of the deception, not necessarily during it. And that makes sense because you're looking at the interviewer and you're thinking, does he or she believe this, or are they buying this story?
Right.
So can you train yourself not to have those traits? Can you train yourself not to look like you're lying?
Yeah, look, I interviewed a clinically diagnosed psychopath, and a lot of people say, I think psychopathy is one of the most misunderstood words in the English language. A lot of people think psychopaths are people who go out and kill. Not necessarily. I guarantee both of you at some stage in your career have worked with somebody who has psychopathic behaviours.
Yes.
A psychopath, by definition, is somebody who is recklessly oblivious to the physical or emotional harm they cause somebody. So if you and I are applying for a job, I'll destroy you, but I'll get the job. I don't care what happens to you, but I get it. And there's a great study done in the US, and they found that even psychopaths are not very good liars. The difference is you or I may feel guilty about if we've done something wrong, some minor misdemeanour, whereas they don't. They're more concerned about being apprehended for their crime. Oh. But the tells are pretty much the same.
Right.
So everything from, and usually one of the things I always look for is, I break it into 3 parts, verbal, non-verbal, and paralinguistic. Paralinguistic is tone, pitch, voice modulation, response latency. When you felt uncomfortable, your tone changed. And usually there's a slight tonal change towards the end of the sentence.
Right. Can I ask Amanda a question?
Oh, don't. I don't want you to.
Did you enjoy me in a pair of Speedos when I came onto the set of The Living Room?
No.
Actually, I believe 100% that's true. And the reason why is Professor Paul Ekman did a lot of research into micro-expressions. Now, micro-expression takes place within 1/25 to 1/100th of a second. And you just showed the facial expression of shock and horror. So your body language reflected your exact answer.
You know, well, if you've seen the footage, Steve, everyone would agree. That was fascinating. Thank you for joining us, Steve. Season 2 of Poker Face is out now on Stan. Steve Van Apperen, thank you for joining us.
I really enjoyed it. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Sam Nation
Podcast.
Brendan and Amanda, and you're on the same show.
How about that?
Let's start wearing lipstick.
This is fantastic.
So fascinating. We've just been talking to Steve Van Apperen. He is a human lie detector. He's worked with homicide detectives, homicide teams, and he just looks at people and looks at their behaviour and looks at how they answer questions, you can tell whether people are lying or not.
I was
amazing.
just asking him some questions about cases that have just been happening, and I can't say them now, but whoa.
Fascinating. He's absolutely fascinating. We asked him some interesting things. I was horrified when you asked him a question. I thought, what's this going to be?
Did you enjoy me in a pair of Speedos when I came onto the set of The Living Room?
No.
Actually, I believe 100% that's true, and the reason why is Professor Paul Ekman did a lot of research into micro-expressions. Now, micro-expression takes place within 1/25 to 1/100th of a second, and you just showed the facial expression of shock and horror.
And a whole lot of micro was going on.
Are you sure about that, Liz?
Oh, yeah.
Where are you getting these pings from?
Yeah. Well, coming up, you better pad up, Brendan. Pad your micros up because you're going to have some darts thrown at you with smart versus dart.
I forgot about that.
Jam Nation.
Well, it's round 12. Round 12 of the NRL. And this year we're experimenting with who's a better tipper, the experts or the universe. The experts use knowledge and insider information. I, representing the universe, just throw darts at Jonesy. He holds ping pong bats representing the team. Where will they land? We call this smart versus dart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last round, smart got 3 out of 8. Dart got 5 out of 8. I'm winning. Dart is winning the whole year 5-4. It just goes to show you don't need any knowledge.
Sure.
Now, we just had a panic because you haven't got your leg pads on and just then you put your cricket box in.
Yep.
So I'm nervous for you.
Check it. Hard as a rock.
And now put it in. So you were anxious about your new Driving Miss Daisy gloves.
Now look at these gloves. They're $420 waterproof Gore-Tex gloves.
You knew this was
leather,
Thursday.
And they look stylish and they're so comfortable.
Well, let's get on with it because we've got... Actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular rounds because of State of Origin. I'll also be throwing darts at you to pick State of Origin.
Of course you will.
Okay, back up, Brendan.
Thanks to Brian for coming in, filling in for Ryan. Brian in for Ryan. Good work, mate. Thank you.
We've added a B and we're getting on with it.
Coming in and doing this, Brian. You could have said no.
Okay, now I'm just anxious over here. Let me just move this across the screen.
Okay.
So you stand in front of the screen.
Right.
And here comes the first round. Bulldogs versus Dolphins. Experts have picked the Bulldogs. Oh, yeah, close your helmet. Oh, wow. Okay, experts have picked Bulldogs. Right. What will I pick? Oh, right in the face. Okay, move them around a little bit. That hit a dolphin. Okay, Eels versus Manly. The experts have picked Manly. What will my darts say? Manly. There you go. Panthers versus Knights. Panthers have been selected. Let's see which ones I'm going to get. Ready? Right into you. Oh, did that hit?
That hit my helmet.
Okay, ready? Don't move them too much. No, that got your new glove. Sorry, everybody. Knights versus Panthers. What's going to happen? That went into your head. That got a Panther. Roosters versus Sharks. Brendan, I'm going for the groin.
Big Mark Noah and Benita Watsi will go.
Oh, Roosters, when I can aim when I need to.
That's like a bull.
And Warriors and the Raiders. Warriors have been picked by the experts. Oh, right off your head. Okay, that got into a Warrior. Now, we've got 2 balloons here. One is maroon and one is blue. This is for State of Origin. No, okay, you want to move them around a bit. Okay, let's see what happens. Sorry, I'm just trying to hit Jonesy's bosom balloons. Oh! No, I've picked Queensland. Well, the universe speaks through me. I'm channeling, and I'm sorry. Well, that was exhausting. Are your gloves okay?
Yeah, they're okay. Thank you, Amanda.
Brendan, you're welcome till next week.
Yeah, till next week.
We will put all those results because I know a lot of people bet on what I'm doing here. I'm like, what was the name of the octopus that could pick the World Cup? I'm like that octopus. All the results will be on our socials.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation Podcast.
Who it is the gram right now?
Who wants some free money?
Instant.
Coin, cash.
Moolah.
I like the sound of that.
Jonesy and Amanda's
Instagram.
Here we go. 10 questions, 60 seconds on the clock. You can pass if you don't know an answer. We'll come back to that question if time permits. You get all the questions right. Happy days, $1,000.
You can make it $2,000 by answering a bonus question, but it's double or nothing.
Liz is in Hurstville. Hello, Liz.
Hello, Jonesy.
Hello,
Hello,
Liz.
Amanda.
Hi, we're trying to give this money away. Are you feeling lucky, Liz?
I'm Lucky Liz, hopefully.
Okay, Lucky Liz. Let's see what we can do for you.
I
10
like the
questions.
idea of that.
10 questions, 60 seconds. Say no if you're not sure, because we usually have time to come back. Okay, Lucky Liz?
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Good luck. Here we go. Question number 1. What's the main ingredient in pumpkin soup?
Pumpkin.
Question 2. What spiky-backed animal is on our 5-cent coin?
Echidna.
Question 3. How many millilitres are in a litre?
1,000.
Question 4. Mary Fowler is known for playing which sport?
Soccer.
Question 5. True or false, Scooby-Doo's real name is Scoobit?
False.
Oh, no,
It's true. It's Scoobit.
It sounds stupid, but Scooby-Doo's real name does sound like stupid. Scoobit is actually Scoobit.
As Shaggy actually says it a couple of times here.
Who's going to know that?
Oh, Liz, when you started so well, Liz.
I'm sorry, Liz.
Oh, no. That's okay. Thank you so
You'll
much.
have to drop the
Good on you,
lucky.
Liz.
Jam Nation.
You had me at Labubu. I like just saying the word Labubu.
Well, I didn't know what a Labubu was, but I'm hearing it more and more, and not just from Jenna, who works with us.
Mm-hmm.
The Labubu is a character created in 2015 by a Hong Kong-born artist and illustrator, and these have just taken the world by storm to the point where they're so popular in the UK, they're plush toys, that the sale of these plush toys have created a lot of tension, a lot of aggression and violence in shops, to the point, as I said, where one particular chain is saying we are not going to stock them anymore.
Really?
Because we do not want our customers put at risk.
How is that?
Well, let's work out, first of all, what a Labubu is. Jenna, hi. You've
Hi.
got 3.
Digital
I brought
Jenna?
3 in, but I've got 14 at home.
What do they look like?
Okay, so I've got them here, and they come. So these are 3 different sets. So one from 3 different sets.
They
so
look identical.
Yeah.
Can you hold it up so I can see?
The first set.
That's
The first set is the macaron set. So I've got toffee here. Toffee is like a toffee coloured one, and it's standing up. Then I've got Zuzu from the Have a Seat range. And then thirdly, I've got the super rare one from the Big Into Energy range, which is the latest range of Labubus.
And what's that's name?
It doesn't have a name. It's a secret one.
And how'd you get that?
So it's 1 in 71 boxes is a secret one. And I was lucky enough to get one of the secret ones.
And so when you buy them, you don't know what kind you're getting. It's like a lucky dip.
They're called blind boxes. So they're available from Pop Mart, and everything at Pop Mart is essentially a blind box. So you don't know what you're going to get until you open it. So that's why unboxing videos are so popular.
So you could get 3 of the same one.
Yeah. So from the macaron range, I've got 2 of the same.
And why do you like them?
They're just so cute, you know? And it's just the fun of lining up with everyone too.
How long have you worked in IT for now?
I don't work in IT.
Well, what do you do?
I've worked here 7 years.
What are you trying to say, Brendan?
What does your...
I'm intrigued by this, though, as to what... There'll be lots of cute little things
But what happened
like
to these
this.
Squishmallows?
No, I've only got 2 of them, and they're outdated now.
Are these on your bed?
No, the Squishmallows, yes,
Okay.
but these aren't. These are on my windowsill.
Don't make her sound a little bit deranged. 'Cause
But are you
she's not.
single still or...?
Yeah.
Jenna, can I ask you, lots of these kind of toys come and go. Why have these ones taken the world by storm? Why are these ones getting parents to queue up? One of these stories here is that they were queuing up till 1 a.m. waiting for 9 hours to get some.
Yeah.
So that's especially this latest range, which is the Big Into Energy range, which a lot of people are lining up for. They're just popular. It all originated essentially from Blackpink. The singer from Blackpink, Lisa, she was also on the White Lotus.
Oh, yes.
So she has over 100 million followers, and she really was the one who started this, popularity around
Because
it.
she bought one and said, I like it.
Yes, and she's a big fan of Labubu, so she puts them on her bags and everything, and since then it kind of blew up because it originated in 2015, but it wasn't until the collaboration between Pop Mart and Labubu in 2019 that it blew up. And
So
then
my
recently-
eyes are starting to dry out.
No, I find it fascinating. And they're saying that people are attaching them to their backpacks and things in cages so they don't get stolen.
But there's queues. There's queues overseas.
Back up. There's a little kid trying to find his dad and mom.
There's little kids getting lost in queues for grown people like yourself.
And I saw someone getting a religious leader to bless one.
Yes, but you also have to be careful because you have to make sure that you get a legit one because the fake ones are called lafufus and you don't want a lafufu.
No one wants a lafufu.
So you see this QR code on the back of the my ones. So you use that code to see if it's legit.
Made in China.
Yeah, it's Chinese.
I've got to know.
To see if it's legit. If it doesn't say it's a labubu, it could be a lafufu.
Yeah, and you don't want a lafufu.
No. Okay. Jenna, carry on about
There's
your business.
much. There's so many questions.
Jenna's single, by the way.
Well, Jenna, thank you. There's no shame. Come on, Brendan. Well, you like stuff. This is Jenna's version of you going on eBay and looking for dumb stuff there.
I would imagine. I remember years ago, my daughter, when she was younger, wanted a Disney princess or Barbie Disney princess carriage. Like a horse and carriage thing for her Barbie. And you couldn't get them for love or money. And my wife had to ring my father-in-law, her father, in Mooloolaba, who then had to drive to Brisbane to pick it up.
I've got Bakugan that I got a friend in Gosford to buy, and then I arranged to get that brought to Sydney. This is the stuff you do when your parents, when you buy them from children, Jenna.
Yeah, the Tribal Trouble for children, Jenna. The Tribal Trouble beat for this. I went mad trying to buy ...
Oh, excuse me. Yes? I'm trying to find a Trouble Man doll. Me too.
Remember that?
Yeah, that
Jingle
was
All the Way?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's right.
Jonesy and Amanda. Sam Nation. Podcast.
I tell you what, I wouldn't be queuing up for some stupid toy.
Back up. There's a little kid trying to find his dad and mom.
The Labubu.
Phenomena.
Jenna's mum just texted her and said, Jonesy's so mean. Jenna has a collection of Labubus. She hasn't mistaken them for the fake Lafufus.
Yes. I'm just trying to help Digital Jenna. I like Digital Jenna, but,
Jenna should actually be Japanese. She should live in Japan because their rooms are filled with all that stuff with no judgment from people like you.
I have no judgment. I'm here.
It sounds like you've got some judgment.
How is there judgment? She's a 30-year-old woman with a bunch of fluffy toys on her
And that's
bed.
okay too. These Labubus, though, are absolutely everywhere. The popularity has meant that Pop Mart, who sells them, have had to close some of their stores in the UK because people are getting aggressive. People have been queuing up for 9 hours to get their hands on some of these collectibles.
Yep. The tribal drama is beating for this. I went mad trying to buy ...
Excuse me. Yes? I'm trying to find a Trouble Man doll. Me too.
Do you remember the movie Jingle All the Way?
What was he trying to buy? Turbo Man?
The Turbo Man doll. That became a thing, the doll. In 1996, they released the doll. I just looked on eBay, $550 for a Turbo Man doll.
Well, how about this? Jenna spent just around $30 to buy one of her Labubus.
Not a Lafufu.
A Labubu. And it was a special one in 70 or something in the unboxing. Yeah. She got a special one. It's worth $2,000.
You could put it into a home.
I could put you in a home. Leave her alone.
She's got a home.
Hello, Wendy. How are you?
Hi. Back in the early 80s, I ran a toy department at the old Woolworths variety stores, and we had Cabbage Patch dolls when no one else had them. And I was carrying them out into the shop. They opened the doors too quickly, and the women just flew through. I got thrown into a gondola and a glassware, had to go and get my legs stitched.
Oh, what?
And they were punching on over Cabbage Patch dolls, these mothers.
You
it
got
was
pushed
crazy.
into a glass cabinet and it sliced up your legs.
Yeah. I just got a cut on my leg, but I got pushed aside. They ripped the dolls out of my hands and just threw me aside and then started punching on trying to get them. It was crazy. I was only 18, 19. It was horrific.
Wow.
For Cabbage Patch dolls.
Wow.
She was only 19. The horror.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Sam Nation. Podcast. Miss Keller.
Amanda.
I go to see Jonesy.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot. I'm not drunk. I've had a couple of drinks.
I think I remember where I was when I heard about the Labubu craze.
Was it about 10 minutes ago?
It was. I was right here listening to that nice man and that lady, I've forgotten her name, on the radio.
Yeah, we're talking about Labubus. This is, if you're a parent of someone who's obsessed with Labubus, you'll know what we're talking about. These are small little fluffy toys that you get via a mystery box. Mm-hmm. And the popularity has just gone through the roof all around the world to the point where Pop Mart, who's released all these toys, is saying that their stores in England will be closed until further notice because there's been violence. There have been 9-hour queues.
and Digital Jenna, who works for us, who actually pays tax and owns a house.
She's got 14 of them.
She's got 14 Labubus.
Yeah, but one of them is worth $2,000. She knows not to get a Lafufu, which is a rip-off. Don't get a Lafufu. That's a fake Labubu.
What a Lafufu idiot. I don't understand this stuff. The tribal
Well, you do. You had a daughter. Your wife queued up to buy stuff for her.
The princess carriage, of course. The tribal drama speeding.
Excuse me. Yes? I'm trying to find a gentleman doll. Me too.
They made a whole movie about it in Jingle All the Way. Chelsea.
Hello, Chelsea.
Good morning. How are we?
Very well. What did you go mad trying to buy?
Well, the problem is you can't buy them. You had to go to McDonald's to get them, and they were those Minecraft toys. I had a lifetime supply of nuggets in that time, gained about 10 kilos, and did I get them all? No.
Were they for you?
Of course they were. They were for my 5-year-old son, but I was doing my motherly duty, as you do, and you go around and you scour the McDonald's in the local area. I even went further afield, but no, couldn't get them all, could I? So feeling very deflated and fat. Thank you very much.
Which ones are you missing of the collection?
You know what? It's a sore point, James. I couldn't even tell you now. I've let it go. I've made peace with it.
Right, yeah.
That is brilliant. Thank you, Chelsea.
Keep walking.
How many nuggets did you eat?
Stephen's with us.
Hi, Stephen.
Yeah, 1977, when we were in year 11, the Star Wars movie came out, and my friend bought all the Star Wars merchandise. He's still got it, all in the original packaging. I think it'll probably fund his retirement.
That's the thing, isn't it?
That stuff's worth a fortune.
And particularly in original boxes, all the crap that we bought that we ripped the packaging and chucked out.
He didn't open and play with it like all the other kids because he was like 16.
Did you know that he was onto something then, or do you think he was an idiot?
Well, I called you privileged because I collect the Ken dolls. So I mean, I'm a bit like him as well.
Right. And has your Ken dolls come out of the box?
No. 30 years are all still in the box. No, 35 years are all still in the box.
And what will that be worth to you, Stephen?
To me, from the original price I paid for mine, and they say I would, because I'm going to give them to my niece, I reckon she could sell them for twice or 3 times the price. Because it's not going to be released again. And the same with my friend's Star Wars stuff. You can get copies of stuff, but that's the original ones from the original movie. Because nobody thought it was going to be that big.
No, and only because I'm fascinated. What's your weirdest one? I've seen an empanada kind of Ken when I was overseas, Ken holding an empanada. What's the weirdest one you've got?
I haven't got anything really weird. It's just that I've got pretty much everything for the last 35 years. There's 1 or 2 of them missing, but I've seen collections online, but people have unboxed them and they say collectors don't like stuff unboxed.
Yeah.
So you can't even open them to look at them.
You can't unbox them.
You can't play with them. You can't open them.
Wow. Good luck.
And they
with
say my friend's stuff, because I was up to like 50 years old nearly.
Yeah, 50 years. How can that be 50 years old? What a shock. Thank you, Stephen. What are you laughing, Brendan?
Nothing at all. Thank you for all your calls.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Everybody shout. Come on now, sing out. It's time for the Ghoulies get together.
Thank you to Marcel's Stocks and Gravies. We have $20,000 at the end of the year to give away to our favourite Ghoulie of the year. We're pretty much halfway through the year, so please feel free to join in any time.
When did that happen? What have we got today?
It really gives me the ghoulies when people have their mobiles on speakerphone in public places.
Yeah.
I know, that happens a lot, doesn't it?
You know what I hate as well? Sailor Jerry does this all the time. He'll be talking to some person on FaceTime and then he'll bring me into the conversation. Oh, Jonesy's here, and then you're talking to some person over in England. And I go, Jerry, I don't want to be a part of this.
Or the people that just walk along with their phones in their hands like the Kardashians do, having loud conversations.
What's with that?
What is with that?
Keep it to yourself. What else have we got?
What gets my ghoulies is when it's raining and people walk through a train station with their big umbrellas and they don't hold them pointing to the ground. They hold them sideways and swing their arms with the umbrella in their hand. So in peak rush hour, when we're all cramming upstairs and through walkways, you almost get stabbed with their umbrella because they have no self-awareness of people in front of them or behind them. So easy. Point your umbrella to the ground.
Point it to the ground.
I was guilty of that the other day. I had it sort of under my arm and wasn't aware that it was poking right out the back, one of those big golf umbrellas.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones that said Hooters on it or something like that.
Actually, embarrassingly, it said Big Brother. How old's that from the vault? I just grabbed a giant golf umbrella from underneath the house, and it was that.
Out with the bad, in with the good. If you dipped out, you can contact us via the iHeartRadio app. It is 7 to 9.
Our favourite caller, email or Facebook friend wins $300 to spend at Jackleberry Bar and Restaurant, Sydney's spot for global flavours and creative cocktails. Now, Labubus are a big new cult craze. We've been hearing about them. Producer Jenna has got about 14 of these. They're giant collector's items.
Nothing wrong with that.
The tribal drum was beating for I went mad trying to buy ...
Oh, excuse me. Yes? I'm trying to find a gentleman doll. Me too.
They made a movie about it.
Mothers will do anything for their child, and Wendy from Eaglevale has confirmed that.
Back in the early 80s, I ran a toy department and we had Cabbage Patch dolls, but no one else had them. And I was carrying them out into the shop. They opened the doors too quickly and the women just flew through. I got thrown into a gondola and a glassware, had to go and get my legs stitched.
Oh, what?
And they were punching on over Cabbage Patch dolls, these mothers.
Ah, the Cabbage Patch doll. Do you remember the days of them?
Worth getting a scar on your leg
Righto,
for a
you
Cabbage
two.
Patch doll.
That's enough.
Well, how about that then? Gold's 101.7's 50k Snow Repeat Workday is on now with Higo. Catch us repeating any song 6 till 6 weekdays and you could win an instant $500 and a snow getaway to Utah, US of A. How good is that? The snow show is on at the ICC Sydney Theatre
This Sunday. This Sunday.
We'll be back from 6 tonight for Jam Nation.
See you then.
Good day to you.
Well, thank God that's over.
Goodbye. Wipe the tears, baby, from your eyes.
Catch Jonesy and Amanda's podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Catch up on what you've missed on the free iHeartRadio app.